studies you would want. And you do not also want studies that would require you doing a lot of manual things, very repetitive things that we can outsource to a machine to do so that we can spend more time doing the things that require cognition. Okay. So use the time to do a lot more thinking, a lot of creative writing, a lot of evaluation in terms of the material, because look, let's be honest, I think many people use um, these large language models, all right? But there are dangers with these large language models, and we need to find a way of mitigating those risks, all right? And using tools that support us to do our work. What it is that once you replace using those tools to be doing your assignments for you, to be doing all those things for you, then they are no longer tools. They become crutches that you deal with, all right? So the whole idea today is providing us with some strategies on how to use this particular tool we call the Notebook LM to help us understand our materials better. So if you look at what we have on the screen, we say the AI assistant that knows your learning material. Let's just walk through this in the next 5 minutes. All right. So our presentation this evening has been scheduled or outlined like this. So we would understand the very basis of Notebook LM. We call it the grounded AI, and I'll explain why. What are the advantages of using this particular tool? We'll run through some of the core features and then deal with how you can do some synthesis with this particular tool. Now, this tool was also designed in a way thinking about academic work. So we'll look at some academic use cases and then once again deal with the ethics and limitations of this particular tool. So let's look at it one by one. Why do we even call it the grounded AI in the first place? So first of all, Notebook LM is a product from Google. All right. Google has a suite of products. So from Gmail, its own large language model called the Gemini, Google Gemini, which I'm sure many of you are aware of. Google has the Google Drive, which is your platform and cloud space to keep all your materials intact, and a whole lot of products from Google. So Notebook LM is one of them. All right. And the reason why Wisdom, which other tool do you use? May I know? Wisdom.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, you said you prefer to use another tool. Which tool is that?
Oh, it's, please, the name. Please let me get a name.
Something you use frequently. That's just by the way. All right. So what I want you to understand is that unlike ChatGPT or those other open source large language models, you see, once you put in a particular prompt, it scrapes through the entire internet to be able to come up with an output for you. That is why I recommend Notebook LM for you, because with Notebook LM, it works with the material you have provided it. So let's say a course like critical thinking and logical reasoning, you have a course material for that particular course. So if you want Notebook LM to do anything with that particular course material, that is where it searches to find those patterns and insights and provides you with an output. So it is limited to that particular source that you have provided the Notebook LM. So that is why we call it the source is grounded. All right. Grounded source in the sense that it is using the source you have provided it to be able to derive responses and outputs for you. All right. So the interface of Notebook LM looks like this. We'll be going into it very shortly. Um, so you can create your notebooks in them. So think about the concept of a notebook. What do we use notebooks for? We use it to write notes, and notebooks are big. It can take several notes, maybe lesson one, lesson two, lesson three. So bring that same concept to Notebook LM. And as a student, or even for me as a teacher, I use this as my resource to be able to organize all my teaching resources. Right. So if I'm taking you in any of the courses, probably some of the IT students who I may teach, you would be I will share my notebook with you, all right, so that you can even have access to the resources I use, and you can play around with it to generate any kind of insight you want, all right? So that is how the interface looks like. So what this does is that, you see, you are feeding the brain of the tool. You are not allowing it to wander around the internet, scraping through several sites, whether it ignores copyright laws or whatever kind of thing. You are not allowing that. You are feeding it with your materials. So I've mentioned, for example, all your courses you have these course readings and other recommended books and materials. So in a sense, you are to feed the notebook LM with these knowledge base. All right. So once you feed it with this knowledge base, then you can start manipulating. You can even go onto the internet, maybe the website of a particular page. All right. It could also even be a YouTube link where you have a very, very, resourceful material, which is a YouTube video. You have watched the video and derived some very good learning from. You can even transform this YouTube link into one of the sources for your notebook LM. And I'll show you how you will do that. Okay. Now, once you put all these things into them, all right, what it does is that it has what we call instant intelligence, right? And this instant intelligence leads to providing with a very concise summary of what the whole text is about. So, I just mentioned YouTube. Once you copy the YouTube link and put into it, the instant intelligence allows it to provide you with a concise summary of what that maybe 1 hour YouTube video is all about. It gives you concise information, and you're able to use it to be able to, break it down into themes and generate mind maps and form, very networks of all that particular material is providing to you. And because it has also been designed for academic use in mind, it has a very clever way of even suggesting questions or learning resources to help you study. All right. So that is what it does. And I'm still waiting, Wisdom. If you remember your tool, then you let us know. All right. So you can use it. And once you use the Notebook LM, it provides you with citations. So if I put in about 5 different sources, all right, 5 different sources, and I put in a question, a prompt, because it has a chatbot function, and it provides me with an output, it cites the reference. So you will know the material from which that particular output is coming from. All right. So we would see that particular one. So this one doesn't hallucinate, like how regular large language models like ChatGPT and even Notebook hallucinates and gives us very fake outputs. Sometimes it even gives you citations that do not exist, and you can't even verify whether those sources are legit or not. So that's one of the dangers of using other large language models. And that's why I will recommend you use Notebook LM. So let's continue. So Busy people like you come for, you attend your lectures over the weekend, all right? And it's a very busy period. You do your classes back to back from morning till evening, and you are able to, assimilate some of the things you were taught. There were others too, you quite frankly, you couldn't even understand what was going on. Um, you were dealing with a number of things, all right? So what is necessary is that you have your material. The lecturer has also given you the slides for that particular session. You can turn this particular material into an audio podcast. And you know how podcasts are. It's like a conversation, you know, and this material will become a conversation. And whilst you are driving, sitting in your trotro, sitting wherever and walking and have your headphone and headset, you can just listen to it. This gives you a gist. And because it's an overview, it's not like it does everything. It gives you a gist of everything contained in that particular material. It doesn't only do audio overviews, it also does video overviews. So it will give you a video overview, which you can describe as an explainer video. So you did principles of management, or you even did C++, introduction to strings. All right. And maybe, frankly, during that session, you couldn't grasp all of the things. And even when they ask you what is introduction to strings, you may not be readily able to provide an answer. You need some added insight to be able to grasp the whole concept very well. Once you conduct this business within Notebook LM to convert it into an audio overview or even a video overview, it gives you an idea of the whole concept, and it uses images that makes things even clearer for you, and you would even understand the concept better. All right. So it's not like you are still using your same resource, but it is making you understand the material even better. That's why it's an AI assistant that understands your learning material. All right. It helps you to be able to even do synthesis. Look, you can even input 10 materials, ask it to identify key issues. It can even identify patterns, similarities, differences, and stuff like that. You can use it for that. And also the kind of practical workflows we are talking about. You can use it as a study guide. It will suggest some exam questions and some answers for you. You can even create flashcards which can help you answer questions. You can even create quiz, a quiz, which will help you to understand, to test yourself, you even understand what is going on regarding the particular content. And you can also use it for literature review, all right, where you put a number of things together. And you can even ask it to draft an essay and critique based on a certain rubric you have been given. All right. So if you are given a rubric, the rubric is one, you should be able to explain the concept of strings and its application in whatever. And then you give you several other rubrics. You can get a draft of such text. And it's important that you understand exactly what we are doing. And we'll be diving into it very soon. All right. So here, understand that this is still AI embedded. All right. It is an AI enabled tool, and AI can always make mistakes. Can always make mistakes. So don't just take whatever you are giving hook, line, and sinker. Always have the ability to evaluate the output you are given. And sometimes, the context within which even your note has been prepared, the AI might misrepresent the context, all right? Because it wasn't necessarily designed for certain contexts, all right? So you must always take care of that. And please do not upload sensitive personal data. It still belongs to Google. It's not yours. All right. So the server is not in your house. The server is not at the GCTU. The server is with Google, wherever it is. All right. So make sure you do not upload sensitive data on Notebook LM. And this is where we call make sure you use it as a tool and not as a crutch. All right? Use it to understand what you are learning, but do not use it to generate text and go and hand over to your lecturer because you will be found out. You would easily be found out if you do that. All right. So basically, what we are saying is that using Notebook LM will help you, right, move away from information overload. You have this material here, you have this one here. I need to read this one small movie here. I need to read this, read this, read that, read that. That creates some form of information overload. All right. But using this tool helps you to move away from that kind of information overload into creating very insightful texts where you are able to generate themes, you're able to understand concepts presented in a very synthesized way for you to readily use. All right. So this helps you to become what we are describing here as master your sources and then master your subject. So basically, this is what we are talking about. And it is the Notebook LM we are coming to discuss. So now let's get our hands dirty. All right. I'll stop sharing this now. Let's get our hands dirty. I'll share my screen again shortly, but I want you to all, um, yeah. So let me put the URL there. So if you are using, if you have a laptop by you, even better. So let me put this in the chat room as we are going along. I have just put the URL in the chat room. Have a look and see how you'll be able to follow. I'm going to share my screen. You will see my notebook, and then we take it step by step. All right. So beautiful. All right. So this is my notebook. This is my notebook. All right. So normally when you go there, you see it has featured notebooks. All right. Featured notebooks. But because the IT people are more here, I'll start with something on IT. All right. So if you want to start a new one, all you need to do here is what? Create new. You can see my screen, right? At the top here.
Yes, sir.
Create,
Yes, Doc.
right?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to be sure I wasn't talking to myself. So create new. Mm. So what you do is that you create new. So click on the create new. What do you see? It says upload sources over here. Upload sources. What kind of sources can you upload? All right. It says PDF, text, Markdown. You can upload audio, example, MP3. You can upload docx, all right? You can upload .aviv files, BMP, GIF files, JP2 PNG, and all JPEG and what have you. These are the files that are supported into Notebook LM. So always be mindful of that. You can go to your Google Workspace within Google Drive to pick a document. You can also paste a link from a website or a YouTube video. You can do that as well. And then you can have your own text somewhere, copy and come and paste here. All right. So you can do all this and then you paste your source. So I'm just showing you how you do this. And generally what I do is I like to drag and drop. So if I have a source here, for example, if I have a source here, Let me, good. So here, I'm dropping a file here. Introduction to strings. Introduction to strings. So those in the IT program, this was one of your slides for this particular strings class, Introduction to Strings. So as you can see on the screen now, it has summarized what is contained in the slide. So it says, this introductory unit focuses on the fundamental role of strings within the C++ programming language. It defines a string as a finite sequence of characters, including letters, numbers, and symbols, which can exist as either constants or variables. So basically, this was your class on Introduction to Strings. So we can just change this name just to make it easily identifiable. And then we can say Introduction to Strings. So once you do that, you see it changes here to Introduction to Strings. And then you prove your material here. All right. So look, there's a chat box here, which you can, okay, good. A chat box here, which you can write any prompt and get an output. But the Notebook LM has suggested some prompts for you. So it says, how do various academic fields define the fundamental concept and characteristics of strings? So that's the question here. Another one, what are the primary differences between the two types of strings in C++? Let me select that one for you, and let's see how it looks for those answers. All right. So it is exploring the primary differences between the two types of strings in C++. All right. So here you see it says the two primary types of strings used in C++ are C style strings and strings that are objects of the string class from the standard C++ library. So there's a source here. There is a source here where this is coming from. You can find the source. It also says implementations. C strings are essentially arrays or types of char. And there's a source here. Once again, you can always, so it goes into the source. I clicked on the source and you can find it there within the source material. So everything you want, you can find it within the source. And if you look on your right here, we call here the studio. So this is where I'm saying that there's an audio overview, video overview, mind map. You can generate some reports, flashcards, quiz, infographic, slide deck, and even there's a data table here. So let me also mention to you that there is a free version and there is also a pro version. And as you can see here, I am using a pro version. So you see the plus here. So there are different types of accounts open to people, and always make sure that you can spend some small, we can sacrifice the Chichinga money and use it to support our study. And one thing I want to show you that over here, where you see configure, you can configure it. So once you click on it, it helps you. So define your conversational goal, style, or role. I want it to be a learning guide. All right. I want it to be a learning guide. And this is best for educational content. And it helps you to grasp new concepts and skills efficiently. So once you select on the learning guide, you can now save. So once you save, it asks you automatically, I want to learn about these sources using learning guide. So it is generating one learning guide for you right now. And let's see what it is able to generate. So it generates a learning guide for you here. So I'll be happy to help you explore the material on C++ strings. The sources break down the two main ways to handle text in C++. C strings and string objects. All right. To help us get through this efficiently, here is a logical plan for your conversation. A logical plan for your conversation. One, definition and types. All right. What it does is that understanding what a string is and the two ways C++ strings implements them. So it has all these and provides you with an opportunity to get into a conversation with Notebook LM about your material. And it has given you four various areas you want to begin your conversation with. So it is up to you and how you prompt, you'll be able to get responses and outputs. Are we together? You can interrupt me now if there is an aspect you are not getting clear. David, I see your face. Is there any question you want to ask?
No, dog, I'm following.
You're following. All right. So for the sake of time, okay, for the sake of time, audio overview, video overview, mind map, what. I was able to generate one before your class, before our meeting here. So you can see all these things here. So if you click on um, video overview, all right, let me do audio overview here. But I have already done the video overview, and this is the video overview. And let's listen carefully. Those of you who have done C++ introduction to strings, after generating the video overview, we call this an explainer video. This explainer video adds flesh to what is contained in the material. And I'm going to play this for you to see if we can follow together. All right.
Ever wondered how your favorite game remembers your username? Or, how a simple word processor even works? Well, it all boils down to one single fundamental building block in programming. And today, we're going to dive right into that, C++ strings. So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with what a string even is. Then we'll look at the two main ways C++ handles them, the old way and the new way. After that, we are absolutely going to get our hands dirty with some code. We'll solve a super common problem that trips up almost everybody. And then I'll leave you with a little challenge to try on your own. Let's do it. Okay, first up, what in the world is a string? Honestly, you can just think of it as how we get our programs to understand text. I mean, anytime you see words on a screen, a button, a pop-up message, your username, you can bet a string is working behind the scenes. I mean, think about it, right? We're constantly typing text into our computers. But for a program to actually understand a command like enter your name, it needs some way to grab and hold on to that sequence of letters. And that's the job of a string. So if you boil it all down, a string is just a sequence of characters. That's it. It could be something friendly like hello world, or a username like user123, or even just a single symbol like an @ sign. If it's text, it's a string. So what are these characters made of? Well, in C++, the most basic little piece of text is called a char. I always think of a char as being like a single Lego block. And a string, well, that's the awesome spaceship you build by snapping all those individual blocks together in a very specific order. So how does C++ actually work with strings? Well, because C++ has been around for a while, it's got a bit of history, and that means there are actually two different ways to do this. There's an old way, and thankfully, a much, much better new way. On the one hand, you've got C-style strings. These are basically just raw arrays of characters, a holdover from the C language, which C++ is built on. But on the other hand, we have the modern C++ string class. This is the one we want to use. It's not just more powerful, it's a lot safer because it handles all the tricky memory stuff for us, which helps us avoid a ton of common bugs.
All right. So I just wanted to end this here. All right. So what we have just done is to play an explainer video for you. The IT guys, the 2 minutes you have just listened to, and if you cast your mind back to that class on Introduction to Strings, do you think this provides you with a lot of insight and explanation into the text? Let me hear from the IT guys. IT people or IT peoples. Are you here?
Yes, sir, it does.
Who is
Yes, sir.
talking? Hello?
Yes, Doc. Please, it does. It gives detailed information about what string is. So it's basically, it gives us the details of the definition of string. It's better definition.
All right.
I think we trust it.
Okay. So the thing is, all this video is coming from your own material, the material you were given for that particular class. All right. So imagine you are given a textbook. You can use that textbook in this manner to be able to generate such a video overview which provides explanations to that particular material. So that's why we call it an explainer video. Okay. It helps explain the key concepts, of that particular material. And if we had gone through the whole thing, you would have really enjoyed it. And you will see various images,
Asking for their name, and then
various images depicting how this particular thing
space
is used, right? So
fix this. We
we really, really, really recommend this for you. All right, so Killian, what is it? Kenita?
Yes, Doc. Yes, good evening.
Evening, sir.
Thank you very much for this initiative. I'm very thrilled to be here as well. So, Doc, with the business students, we do mathematics, business mathematics. So, for instance, this semester we are doing business statistics. How do I put those materials in there for the system to give me a practical way to understand it, just how you've displayed with the IT?
All right.
Is there a way that the statistics, the business statistics notes, I can put it there for the system to give me videos to understand it? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother Kinitan. All right. My small point is, if programming kra afa, how much more business statistics? But that's just by the way. I'll demonstrate something to you shortly. All right. And that's a very important question you just asked. And let's get on with our demonstration. So what I did there was a video overview. All right. And we also have an audio overview, which is a conversation. Let me quickly get into that, which is the Deep Dive podcast.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you've ever had to handle a customer's name or parse a comment box, or even just set a password, you know that almost all of our digital life revolves around one crucial data type, the string.
It really does. It's the essential connection point between, human language and machine logic.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is a deep dive into the absolute fundamentals of handling strings, specifically within C++ HAL. I'm just trying to give you a shortcut to understanding this.
A shortcut to not just storing characters, but avoiding the pitfall.
Exactly. How to avoid the most common, most frustrating pitfalls, especially when you're dealing with user input.
Right. So we've taken a whole stack of sources on C++ foundations, and we've really tried to distill it down to the 2 or 3 things you must know.
The absolute essentials to manage human language effectively in your code.
Okay, so let's forget the super formal definitions for a moment. Let's just unpack this. What exactly are we talking about when we say string in a practical day-to-day programming sense?
Well, at its most basic level, a string is just a sequence of characters.
Just a sequence.
That's it, an ordered collection. And that sequence can be fixed, what we would call a literal constant, like the word hello, just hard coded right into your program.
Yep.
Or it can be a variable, a container that's designed to hold a value that's going to change.
All right, so this is an example of the podcast when you generate your audio overview. All right, so with this one, it also has a certain interactive feature, and I'm going to demonstrate that interactive feature shortly. What it does is that whilst the conversation is going on, the podcast is going on between the two people, you can interrupt and even ask a question, and you would get a response from those engaging in the podcast. Shall we try this to see how it works?
Based on user input or what your program is doing.
So it's a container, but it's not like an int that just holds one number.
So I have put it into the interactive mode. All right, so I'm going to play the audio again.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
So it's
if you've ever had
starting.
to handle a customer's name,
So let's follow together.
parse a comment box, or even just set a password, you know that almost all of our digital life revolves around one crucial data type, the string.
It really does. It's the essential connection point between, human language and machine logic.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is a deep dive into the absolute fundamentals of handling strings, specifically within C++ Head. We're trying to give you a shortcut to understanding this.
A shortcut to not just storing characters, but avoiding the pitfalls?
Exactly. How to avoid the most common, most frustrating pitfalls, especially when you're dealing with user input.
Right. So we've taken a whole stack of sources on C++ foundations, and we've really tried to distill it down to the 2 or 3 things you must know.
The absolute essentials to manage human language effectively in your code.
Okay, so let's forget the super formal definitions for a moment. Let's just unpack this. What exactly are we talking about when we say string in a practical day-to-day programming sense?
Well, at its most basic level, a string is just a sequence of characters.
Just a sequence.
That's it, an ordered collection.
So watch,
And that
I'm joining.
sequence can be
I'm going to
fixed in what
join
we would
right
call
away.
a literal constant, like the word hello, just, oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
All right. I want to ask about the variables. What type of variables are we talking about? Discrete variables? Are they included? I have now allowed my system to recognize it. So let's.
Here,
Yeah,
that's a perfect example. It's 4 characters, right?
absolutely. HERE. It's an example of what we call a literal constant.
Just hard-coded right into your program.
Exactly. Or it can be a variable, a container that's designed to hold a value that's going to change.
Like if we asked the listener to input their name and they typed in here.
Precisely. It's a container that holds a value based on input or what your program is doing.
So it's a container.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Are we looking at variables that are numbers or letters? Which ones?
That is a fantastic question, and it gets right to the core of why strings are different.
Yes. If you think about variables in programming, they usually hold one type,
Like an int holds a whole number,
or a float holds a decimal number. Those are the number variables you mentioned.
but the string is special because it holds a sequence of characters.
And those characters can be letters, like the H in here.
Or they could be numerals, like the number 5, but treated as a character, not a number you can do math with.
Punctuation marks,
All right. So as you could hear, I joined into the conversation and I asked a question. And that question fed into the conversation of the podcast. So that's one of the fantastic ways you can use this audio overview, join in, use the interactive mode, and then you can join in. So apart from this audio overview and the video overview I've just played to you, so imagine, in your class, Emmanuel Baja has decided to just bring colleagues together. Okay, let's learn online. Vida is in Ho, Sharifa is in Bolga, I am in Aflau, and Obi can be here in Pando, and where have you? Okay, so we have decided to learn, and we are online. All right. one of the things we can generate here, as you can see from my screen here, is this if you can see my screen very well, all right. Over here, you can generate a quiz. So this is a quiz which you can generate. So generate this quiz, and I've already done one, okay? So if you generate the quiz, it gives you questions, all right? Let me expand this view for you to see the quiz very well. So question 1, in C++ programming, which header file must be included to properly use the std blah, 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 string class and its functionalities? All right, so A, B, C, D. Mr. Baja, Mr. Akwefio, Theodora, which one is the correct answer? You even have a hint here.
It's B.
Okay, somebody says B, somebody says A. Please agree amongst yourselves so we proceed.
Okay, it's A. Sorry.
It's A.
Yes.
All right, so there's a hint. You can click on the hint. It says the name of the header file often directly corresponds to the main feature it provides. So let's try A and C and see the feedback. We are wrong, not quite. The header is necessary for input and output operations like blah, 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 blah. So the right answer is B. Whoever said B and chickened out of the B, this is your loss. You chickened out. Be firm, be bold, and keep your response. All right. So this is how you do it. So we go to the next. All right. When reading user input into a variable, what is the primary limitation using the syntax? What is the correct answer, my IT people? Shall we look at the hint? There's a hint. Consider how this method would handle inputting a person's.
Okay, the answer is D. It stops reading input as soon as it encounters any white space character.
That's D. D for David, right?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's try and see. That's correct. Let's clap for Mr. Baja. All right, so I'm just demonstrating how you can use this particular tool for your own study. So it has generated questions from your own material and helping you to be able to solve the questions. All right, so that is what the quiz does. There's also the flashcards, and I've generated flashcards. If you cast your mind back to nursery school, and I know there are not a lot of Gen Z people here, nursery school where we have these flashcards, where we used to, they show the kids whether you can read a material and things like that. We've brought that concept of physical manual flashcards into the digital space. So what kind of flashcards are we looking at here? All right, so I've also generated this, and this is how the flashcards are looking like. So it also asks you a question. In the context of computer programming, what is a string? So Emmanuel Baja, who has gathered his colleagues and they are studying online, is displaying this. And then you expect a response from them. And again, if you see here, if you see below here, there's an answer it provides. All right. It says a sequence of characters which can be either a literal constant or a variable. And it's not even enough that it gives you what the answer is. It provides you with an opportunity to even explain the answer from the source it generated this answer from. So it is reviewing it, so that it is able to explain this answer even in more detail for you. All right. So that is what you have here. It has explained the answer in more detail for you. All right. So you move to the next flashcard. And let me maximize this again. In formal languages like mathematical logic, how is a string defined? All right. Again, that's another question for you. which you must provide a response to. They even give you an answer here. And then if you want to even see further explanation to the answer, you can just tap on that button and you see it. So once again, that is the use of the flashcard, and you can use this to support your study. All right. Depending on the account you have, you can also generate a slide deck. All right. You can generate a slide deck. And where is the slide deck? Here, exactly here. So once you click on so you just click on it and it will generate the slide deck for you. A slide deck is a slide deck. It just means slides. All right. So the slides I got from this introduction to strings, which your lecturer gave you about 40 pages or so, Notebook LM has taken the content, reorganized it, and generated these slides for you. So first of all, it presents you with an outline, goes on to explain what a string is, goes further, and has about 15 slides for you all the way to your takeaway. All right. So these are the takeaways from it. So it has generated slides for you. And for me, if you ever join my class, you know that I don't like boring slides. I like slides that are colorful, that are engaging, that has images and speak to the issues we are discussing. All right. Because it must be visually engaging and relatable. So I like to use a lot of, multimedia types of slides. I don't like the boring, plain, flat file. I don't like those kind of slides at all. So that is what you can do with this. There is another one which I want to show you. That is when you go to reports, right? You go to reports, you can generate what we call the study guide. Generate what we call the study guide. The study guide gives you set of some questions and answers. And I already generated the study guide. So let me open the study guide I already generated for you. So this is how the study guide part looks like. All right. So you can see the study guide here. It has short answer quiz. Okay, short answer quiz. So introductions. Answer the following questions in 2 to 3 sentences based on the provided information. Question 1, provide the definition of a string from both a computer programming and a theoretical computer science perspective. All right. So if you look at the answer key, if you come down here, it says in computer programming, a string is a sequence of characters that can be literal, constant, or variable. From a theoretical computer science perspective, it is a finite sequence of symbols chosen from a set known as an alphabet. So for each question, there is an answer that has been suggested for you. And all these have been derived from the source material. If you go further, you see essay type of questions. And there are some essay questions for you here, which you can try to solve. All right. And there is a glossary of key items. So what does alphabet means? C strings, C ins, C whatever. So you see the glossary, and it provides you a summary of all the glossary and the key terms in the material. So that's one of the functions when you use the study guide part in this notebook LM. All right. So that's basically what you can do with the notebook LM. And another fantastic feature here is that once you use the chat box, all right, once you use the chat box and you ask a question, all right, so let's say, what is the primary characteristics used to measure a string? It is opening your notes, as you can see, reading your sources, and then to give you the outputs. What I want to show you is that once it provides you with an output, like we have here, okay, you can save this output. You see save to note here. You can save it to note. So let me save to note and see what happens. So it's saving to note. All right. So it becomes a note and added here. So it is saving to note. All right. Saving to is generated, and it has now become a note over here. And you can open it and see what it is. All right. You can, when you click here, you can even convert this into a source, or you can even export it to docs. You can export to sheets. So it means Google Docs, Google Sheets, or you can convert it into a source. All right. So here, if you want to export to docs, just click on it. It will open another, exactly. So this is Google Docs, and it has opened the document for you and provided the response over there. So that is how you use it. So let's get back to our notebook. All right. So we spent a lot of time talking about stuff for the IT people. Now let's go and see for our colleagues, our business colleagues. All right. So I took your Principles of Management week 3 material, and it says navigating the global environment of management. So if you put that entire material for week 3, which looks at the global environment of management, this is what it does. It first gives you a summary. All right. It gives you a nice summary of this particular material. And again, I have generated the video overview for this particular material. So you can play this video overview. And
All right, today we're going to build the playbook for the modern manager. You know, the old rulebooks are pretty much obsolete in a world that's faster, more connected, and way more complex than ever before. So how do you actually lead when your market, your talent, and your competition can pop up from literally anywhere on the planet? Well, let's figure it out. So let's start with this big question. What does it even mean to manage in a world without borders? It means the old way of doing things just doesn't cut it anymore. It really demands a whole new mindset and a fresh set of skills. So let's dive in and start building our playbook. Okay, first things first, let's get the lay of the land. We need to understand the environment we're all operating in. And it's a world where those geographical lines on the map are getting fuzzier and fuzzier, creating what we call a boundaryless business landscape. The engine driving all this change? It's globalization. It's basically created this massive global village. And what that means is a management style that totally crushes it in Germany might completely fail in Japan. To be effective, you can't just stick to what you know. You have to become a student of different cultures, different systems, and different business techniques. So what really makes a company global? It's not just about, selling some stuff overseas. It's really about 3 key things. You're exchanging goods and services, you're hiring talent from anywhere in the world, and you're using financial resources from outside your home country. When you've got all 3 of those pieces working together, that's when you're truly integrated into the global economy. Now that we know what a global company looks like, let's talk about how they get there, because there isn't just one single path.
all right. So again, this is an explainer video of week 3 of Principles of Management. Juliet, how do you find this?
Hello, sir. I think Juliet is not listening. So I saw the video earlier. When I watched it, I realized that the summary was superb because during the lecture or during lectures, there were some points that the lecturer indicated which was not in the LMS or which was not part of the slide. So I jotted them down. When I listened to this and I compare, I realized that it was the same or similar. There were some 2 or 3 points that I realized that yes, the one that the lecturer mentioned is the same that I found it here. So that was superb.
All right. So it means that over here, Mr. Kuka, if you come to the left side of our screen here, let's say this is for only week 3. Make sure you come here and put week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10, 11, 12, whatever number of weeks. Put all the materials there. All right? Put all the materials there, and it will give you a summary of everything. And from there, you can generate your study guide based on all the sources you have put in there. Do you get it? So you can generate your own study guide and learning path, through this notebook LM. So it's a real notebook. On a more serious note, it's a real notebook. So you can have all your materials, all your slides for the 10, 12 weeks or whatever it is. And for you, the main textbook for the course, include that one too. All right, before you generate all these things to be able to test yourself with quizzes, with flashcards, and what have you. So this one, for example, I also created a slide deck from the material. So check the slides you have for week 3 and compare it to what you have here, and see it is visually engaging. All right, it even makes it nicer to read, beautifully organized and all this, right? So this is something you should look at using very much to support your studies. You would find that you wouldn't be spending time on things that are mundane, so you can delegate, doing some of this sifting and sorting to the machine and focus more on applying the thing God gave us in our heads. All right. So if you look at the study guide, I also generated a study guide, Paul. So look at this study guide, for example. It also provides questions which require short answers. All right, short answer questions. So according to the source, and you see, it is not going anywhere. According to the source, what are the 3 criteria that define an organization as global? Question 1. According to the source, what are the 3 criteria that define an organization as global? So if you come down here, you find the answer here. So an organization is considered global if it meets one of 3 criteria. First, it exchanges goods and services with consumers in other countries. Second, it uses managerial and technical employee talent from other countries. Third, it engages in financial globalization by using financial sources and resources from outside its home country. Paul, do you agree with the answer? Or Nimanche, you are senior. You have done the exam already. Paul hasn't done the exam. Nimanche, do you agree?
I do, sir.
Yeah. All right. So this is a study guide for you. So it has short answer questions for you. And if you go further down, it has essay questions for you. All right. Essay type questions are all here, and you can try your hands on them. Once again, it has a glossary of key terms, right? Explaining all of the key terms for you, which is required. Meaning that if you do principles of management, you do something on global environment of management, at least these are things you should know. So that's a glossary of the key terms when it comes to that particular subject matter. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? So let me satisfy the cravings of my good friend Kinita. Hello, Kin.
Yes, dog. I'm here with you.
All right, so I want to satisfy your cravings as though you were a pregnant woman. So let's see if we can put the business statistics material here. All right, so in the meantime, Theodora is asking whether it's the AI generated voices. Theodora, until you feed the system with your voice, and the Banku voices we have here, we are not able to use our type of voices. We just use the AI generated voices. For now, that is what there is. All right. I'm sure as the system improves, there is also the issue of cultural sensitivity, where they can have people who talk like you and I, to be able to generate voices. Even if it's AI generated voice, it's a voice familiar to our context. All right. Okay, so Mustafa is also asking, does Notebook LM have an option to download and watch later or an offline mode? Absolutely. So the management video, for example, I downloaded it. I wanted to test it, so I even shared it with Paul to see if it works. So yes, you can download. I will show you exactly how you download it so that you can have access to it. So, Kinita, right? Let's look at what it says. The provided text originates from a business statistics textbook authored by Johnny Suman, specifically designed for distance education students at Ghana Communication Technology University. This instructional material covers fundamental probability theory, explaining how numerical measures of uncertainty assist managers in making strategic investments and productivity decisions. It details various statistical distributions, such as the normal and uniform distributions, blah, 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 blah. Kenita, does this look like what is contained in your material?
Exactly so, dog.
All right, so you know what I'm going to do now? Let's change this name. Let's call it business statistics. Let's call this business statistics. Now I'm going to write a prompt. All right. And before I even do that, I am going to change this to a learning guide and then save this. All right. So I want to learn about these sources using a learning guide, and it's going to do something for you. Let me come here and see if I can even generate a study guide based on the material I have just uploaded. I am going to write a quick prompt. All right, I'm going to write a quick prompt. So I'll say, generate a study guide based on Unit 1, Session 1. Ken, are you following?
Dog, I'm here. Yes,
So
please.
I'm saying that I should generate a study guide based on Unit 1, Session 1. So I have just put it to thinking mode. It is now looking through the material to see if it will be able to generate a study guide based on Unit 1, Session 1. So this is what it does for you. Unit 1, Session 1, definition and scope of statistics. All right. 1, defining statistics. Then the definition is there. The why in business statistics, it explains. And then the key areas of application, it is here. So it has just provided me with a study guide. Then I will know how to do the learning. All right. But the one I have generated over here is more in detail, right? Short answer questions. What is the primary distinction between descriptive statistics and inferential statistics? And then there is a key, the answers are here. It provides you with this, all right? Now, one of the limitations so far is that it is not able, for example, if you query it, it doesn't have the capability to be able to generate that kind of graphic material for you. So if I have the material, and let me even look through and see, and then if like there's a a question, trial question in the material. Okay, so self-assessment question. So this is in page 5. So let me use the prompt. So I would say guide me to provide answers to the self-assessment questions on page 5 of the source material. So let's see what it says. I have just as a guide me to provide answers to the self-assessment questions on page 5 of the source materials. So Kin, let's see what kind of outputs we would have. And in the meantime, let me be generating the video overview and see what we'll have. Let's see even if we can generate a slide deck. All right. So Kinita.
Yes, dog.
Okay, you die finish this evening. So here, see, it says, here are the answers to the exercise 1.1 self-assessment questions based on session 1. You see, so it has gone into the material, lifted the self-assessment questions, and provided responses to it. So definitions and objectives. So when you go to the self-assessment question, it says, what is the fundamental definition of statistics in the context of business? That is what the self-assessment question says. And then when you come here, it says the definition. Okay, statistics is a branch. Look at it. It's I said definition and objective. That's questions 1 and 3. Statistics is a branch of mathematics involving the collection, organization, analysis, and interpretation of data. Its primary objective is to identify underlying patterns and trends to draw meaningful conclusions and make predictions. So the source is there. You see, if you click on the source, it tells you where exactly it is getting this answer from. All right. So Kinita, it's a powerful tool for you. Please use it. Use it.
Dog.
Break it down into the various units. So unit 1 session, you can do unit 1 session 1, 2, 3. You can move again unit 2, depending on whatever you want to do. All right. So just go into it and dig deep. The key here is the way you write your prompt.
Okay.
You see, the way you write your prompt. If you write garbage, the output will be garbage. All right. So here I was specific in saying that it should provide access to the self-assessment questions on page 5 of the source material. So you go into the material and identify exactly where it is, and all these should be in the prompt you provide the chat, so it can do its magic and bring you the output you are looking for. Am I preaching?
No, dog. You are teaching. Thank you.
So let me pause here. We can't possibly cover everything in terms of Notebook LM today. So let me pause here. Any questions? Any questions?
Doug, you said you were going to show us the downloading part.
I'm going to show you what?
The part where to download.
Right. So before I do that, let's say introduction to information systems. So I am in YouTube now. And I'm trying to look at introduction to information systems. I want a material in there. So let's just take this one. I want a simple one. Yeah. So Introduction to Information Systems.
ChatGPT is great for quick answers, but when you need writing expertise, Grammarly is my go-to tool. If you're already...
All right, so this is a YouTube video of one Dr. Nalugon, or whatever, I don't know him, and it's Introduction to Information Systems in the Business Today. All right, and there's a reference there. So let's go to our notebook LM and see. So if I want to create a new notebook, all right, if I want to create a new notebook, I've just copied the YouTube link. So this is where I come, all right? Can you see my screen? This is where I come. And then I click on YouTube. And then I paste the URL here. And then I said, but one thing, if you are using YouTube, the link must be public. If it is unlisted, you cannot use it because it works by taking the transcriptions within the video. So if it is not public, that means the notebook LM cannot have access to the transcriptions. So you must make it public in order for it to have all that. So you see, yes, sir. Somebody wants to ask a question?
Sorry. I think yes, sir. So your network is it was breaking, so I don't know if you can go over what you said. I couldn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So I was saying that when you are using, but did you see the process I went through to upload the YouTube link?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I was saying that the YouTube video has to be publicly shared. If it's an unlisted video, if we say unlisted in the YouTube parlance, it means it hasn't been made public. So for example, all your class recordings that we upload on YouTube, they are all unlisted. They haven't been made publicly available. They are unlisted. So you cannot put that into Notebook LM for it to be able to extract all those transcriptions. So that's one thing I want you to know. So that video we saw on YouTube right now, right? This particular video.
Thank you for joining me in the first part of week 1 of this unit's Introduction to Information Systems.
All right. So I hope Notebook LM is able to pick the brofu in all this. All right. So if you want to use the chat, you can ask the chat any question about what is contained in that particular video. All right. So that is one thing you should think about. Business statistics. I think I was creating the video overview. I didn't finish and I left here. I hope it doesn't waste time for us because I think we've spent an hour and a half almost. And everybody is still here. Does it mean you're finding it useful?
Yes, please.
Very, very useful, sir.
All right. So, like I said, this is my Christmas gift to you. Some of you are preparing to write the exam after the Christmas break or the New Year break. So this is one of the tools you can use to organize your resources and to help you generate a learning guide, a study guide, quizzes, help you understand by generating the video overview, can generate the audio overview with the podcast, the conversation, and what have you. So, Kinita, it has now generated a slide deck for the business statistics book. Let's see how it looks like. I'm curious myself.
Okay.
Here we go. So it gives you some kind of overview in terms of what the material is and explains its importance in today's market. So you see down here, it says, as the source text states, statistics is vital as it allows for evidence-based decision-making to take precedence over intuition or speculation. I agree, totally. All right. So you come here and so I'm sure you have these examples in the book, right? So
yes, Doc. Yes.
right. So here qualitative data and quantitative data, blah, 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 blah. Scales of measurement, intervals and true ratios, statistical analysis, descriptive statistics, blah, 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 blah. So see, this is a nice one. It explains what a population is. It explains what a sample is. It explains what a parameter is and what a statistic is.
This Christmas bonus.
You see, so you look at it. So it gives you only 15. So here, those who want to download the slide deck, you see here, you see download. So you just download. Once you download, that's it. That's it. So I'm downloading it now and I'll upload it in the chat right now. All for Kinita, because he's the one who is asking all the questions. Meanwhile, others to benefit to Kinita.
Yes, Doc. Thank you so much, Doc. Made my evening.
Yeah, so I will download this for you and then share with you. All right. So that is what we have here. I've just downloaded it for you. From data to strategy. All right. Any other questions, my people? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. What could the question be?
Sir, please, the audio overview.
Yes.
Is it for free? Is it? Can you get it in the free mode, or is also that you have to subscribe? That's the pro side, because I use a slide to do to paraphrase it and ask him to paraphrase. So after paraphrasing, I also try using it to do the audio overview, but it seems it is asking me to subscribe or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yes. But the paraphrasing is very it gave me a very well organized feedback as I compared to other AI tools. And it's very nice and very simple and understanding. So for the audio, I wanted to try that side and see, but it is not giving me.
I can't quite remember. So if you can, are you using your laptop?
No, sir. For now, I'm using the phone.
You're using your phone. Who's using his laptop? I would like to see what the features are on the free version currently. I am not sure right now. I'm not sure. But the truth is, it isn't expensive. It isn't expensive. So
yes, the problem actually, the problem I wanted to try it was they gave me some coin dollars, So coins like this. So I wanted to what do you call it, subscribe, but the mode that they ask, I don't have that because yes, the mode that they ask me to use to subscribe is difficult.
You need a Visa card.
Yes.
Yeah, to do that.
Oh, they should add MTN. They should add MTN mobile.
Yeah, so yeah, that's one of the ways you can do. But whatever it is, we can talk behind the scenes and see how
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
can all benefit from this, because I really, really want you to use this tool in a very, very responsible way, in a manner that supports your ability to, first of all, it's not like you are asking the tool to do everything for you. It helps you to even improve your understanding of the concepts, right? And there are aspects of it, even if you need further explanation to a response, you can get that. So that is why I am recommending this tool for you. I mean, seriously, I am recommending this to you. Okay. Paul, do you know Kinita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's you need to like the AI tools too much. He's good. He's one of our savior. during lectures, he's doing well, sir.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
doing well. He's one of our savior during lectures, so he does very well. I told him that I'm looking forward to learn from him. So
Right.
we are all students, but we have students who are ahead, and King is one of them.
That's beautiful. What's your actual name, Kinita? What's your actual name?
Dog is actually King Joseph Nitan.
Oh.
But I normally want to keep it simple, King Nitan. The Nitan is a Ghana name, 10th born.
Nakai.
No.
All right, so this is your business statistics material. The video is ready.
Hey everyone, today we're going to learn a new language. And no,
I'll download it for you. Okay.
It's the language of data. This is how modern businesses actually make sense of the world around them and, make much smarter decisions. So, how do they pull it off? I mean, just think about it. We are drowning in information every single day. So how does the company cut through all that noise to figure out what customers really want, or which product is the one that's truly flying off the shelves? Well, the answer, as you've probably figured out, is by learning to speak the language of data. And really, at its core, data is just information. It's the raw material, the numbers, the words, the clicks we collect. The best way to think about it is like learning your ABCs. It's the basic vocabulary you need before you can even start to build sentences and tell stories. And from here, we're going to build up our understanding step by step. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with what business data even is. Then we'll dive into the grammar, how to sort it all out so it actually makes sense. After that, we'll look at how to describe what the data is showing us. And then comes the really fun part, using it to make predictions. And finally, we'll see how to put it all together to work in the real world. Okay, first things first, before we can even dream of analyzing data, we have to understand why we even bother collecting it in the first place. This isn't just for fun. Every single piece of data has a job to do. Yeah, businesses need data for some super practical reasons. Are we hitting our sales targets? That's measuring performance. Is our new product actually any good? That's evaluating standards. Should we launch that big new marketing campaign? Data helps us figure out the right course of action. It's all about trading in guesswork for actual evidence. All right, so now that we have our data, we can't just let it sit in a messy pile. That's useless.
All right, so this is something, Kinita. So over here, I'm going to download it. So you see download here. So I'm downloading this material as well. And so I owe you the slide deck as well as the video. Okay. So you can do that. Yeah. Philomena Sam Arthur. This is an all-time Christmas gift because we will use it and pass it on to our grandchildren. God bless you. All right, Philomena. All right, Philomena. Well, good to know. And I also want to let you know that you can do the same for your logic and critical thinking course. All right. So I have done same. All right. So look at it, logic and critical thinking. I uploaded your material, generated some logic flashcards for you, and you find the flashcards here. In common sense terms, what does logic typically mean? You see it here. According to the text, what skill is needed to identify the conclusion in an argument, whether it's explicit or implicit? And the answer is here, the skill of inference, all right? What is the role of evaluative skill in logic and critical thinking? The role of evaluative skill, all right? And what's that role? It is needed to examine and dissect arguments by assessing the credibility and relevance of information and sources. So I know that for many of you, this is your favorite course. So you can use this material to be able to generate anything it is you want, generate a study guide, get into a conversation with it from the chat box. It would find any form of information you're looking for, engage it in learning, and I'm sure you would be excited. Any questions? I'm running out of gas right now, so. Hello. So let me see by hand. How many of you are going to try using this tool? Let me just see by hand.
No, please, we didn't hear the last statement.
I said, how many of you are going to try using this tool?
All of us.
Are you sure? Let me just see by hand.
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc.
What it is that it is important we find various approaches to make learning easy for us. Okay. Like I indicated, it's not as if you are going to leave the learning for the machine to do. Because remember that in the use of AI, it still requires you to use intelligent approaches to be able. Okay.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Doc, I have something to say. You know, ever since joining GCTU, our digital study skills lecturer, Mr. Justice Zaite, has taught us a bit about AI and all that. So normally when I'm learning and I'll find my small boy who is in class 5, always at me. So he has a tablet. So what he does is that he just goes to Google Speech and then he also asks questions and all that. So he came back from school one day, he did some assignment, and he said, the teacher said he has been using AI to learn. And he said, oh, he's just used to research. It's not like he's copying. So I told him, man, he should keep doing it. Honestly, this term exams, he did so well. And because it's like the things he's saying, super. And the teachers are like, and I told them, it's the future. So they should allow the kids to study. He's not copying, but the guy is able to memorize and write. So semester in all their subjects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I realized that it's something that if you use it very well, it really helps.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Right. It's for me, it is very important. And I would even like to get back to this. Where's my screen? Let me share this. So this is where I talk about, information overload. Okay, to insightful analysis. All right. It is important that we learn how to use this, So you are driving, okay? Let's say my good friend in Aplau, what's my customer business name?
Foster Oye.
Oh yeah, Foster Oye. Foster Oye. Foster Oye. Driving from Aplau, coming to Accra or going to wherever he works, he's able to convert one of these videos or even the audios conversation. So you are driving and you are listening to the conversation. Look, you don't waste time. You are making good use of your steady time, to be able to still learn. It's not like you want to now come and sit down, grab your book before you are able to learn. No. Once you do all these things, you have your resources with you at any point in time. You're sitting in your trotro, you have your phone. Look, I'm not saying Facebook is not good. I'm not saying Instagram is not good. I go to Facebook myself, I go to Instagram, but there is time for everything. You can use this tool, this your phone, as you have just downloaded. And Kenita, I've sent it to Paul Kuka. Paul Kuka, please share it with everyone. All right. Share it with everyone.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, share
Thank
it
you.
with everyone. This for the business maths. All right. Look, you can be listening to this video overview, create an audio overview, wherever you are, even when you're going for jogging, you're just listening to it. All right. This is how people like us can utilize our time well and, derive meaningful learning from what we do. Okay. We are here, and many of us are in this program for a particular reason. All right. So I am just trying to provide you this particular one as a tool to support your learning. And I hope many of you, use it and derive, true meaning from it. The gentleman, Wisdom. Is Wisdom still with us, or he's gone?
Hi, Doc. Please, he said he has run out of battery. So
Oh, too bad. Too bad.
Please.
All right.
He has posted the name of the two in the chat. So.
He did?
Yes, please.
Okay, I didn't see. Sharifa, how are you? Okay, SAI or SAI or whatever. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I will look it up. I'll look it up.
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Sharifa, how is Bolga?
Sir, I'm currently in Tamale, but Bolga is fine. I've been there last week.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. So If there are no other questions, I think it's a good time to retire. So we can revisit this later. What do you think? Abel has a question. All right.
Yeah, I concur, Doc.
So we should close there.
Okay, sir. Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Yeah, please. I was having a network challenge, so I didn't hear how to get this app or this software. Is it where can I get it?
All right. So do you have a Gmail account?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll put it in the chat again. Notebook LM. So you can just sign up. Once you have a Google account, it's easy, and then you can use it. You can also find the app in the Play Store, but I prefer using the web-based tool because I like to use my laptop more for these things. It's more optimized for me rather than on my phone. Thank you, and I'll share the recording with you so that those who couldn't attend, you can share it with them. All right. Enjoy your evenings, and I'm sure we'll meet again. Bye.